8. Reasons your car stalls while driving and what you should check immediately. You're driving normally, maybe cruising on the highway or slowly moving through traffic. Everything feels fine. Then suddenly, the engine loses power, the car jerks, the RPM drops, and before you even react, the engine shuts off. Now you're rolling with no power, steering feels heavier, brakes feel different, and for a moment, you're not fully in control anymore. This is one of the most dangerous problems a driver can experience, because when a car stalls while driving, it doesn't just stop. It disables systems you rely on for control. And the worst part is, this problem often gives warning signs, small ones, easy to ignore, until the day it happens at the worst possible time. In this video, I'll show you 8 common reasons your car stalls while driving, and more importantly, how to read the situation so you know what to check immediately. Let's go step by step. Reason number 1, fuel delivery problem. Your engine runs on fuel. If fuel supply becomes inconsistent, the engine cannot maintain combustion. At first, this doesn't always cause a stall. It usually starts as hesitation. You press the accelerator, but the car responds slowly. Then maybe it jerks slightly. And under heavier load, like going uphill or overtaking, the engine struggles more. Then one day, it stalls. This can happen because of a weak fuel pump, a clogged fuel filter, or dirty fuel injectors. Here's an important clue. Fuel-related stalls usually feel progressive. The engine struggles first, then shuts off. Not instantly. So if your car hesitates before stalling, fuel delivery becomes a strong suspect. Reason number 2, faulty crankshaft position sensor. This is one of the most common causes of sudden stalling. This sensor tells the engine computer the exact position of the crankshaft. Without this signal, the engine loses timing control. No timing, no spark, no combustion, and the engine shuts off immediately. Here's the key difference. This type of stall feels instant. No warning, no hesitation, just off. You may also notice something interesting. After a few minutes, the car starts again. Then later, it stalls again. This happens because the sensor fails when hot, then works again when it cools down. This on and off pattern is a classic sign. Reason number 3, ignition system failure. The ignition system creates spark. Without spark, fuel cannot burn. And if combustion stops, the engine stalls. Problems can come from failing ignition coils, worn spark plugs, or damaged wiring. Now here's how this usually feels. Before the stall, you may notice engine misfiring, rough running, or sudden power loss. Then the engine shuts off. So unlike a crankshaft sensor failure, this type often gives warning, roughness, then stall. That sequence is important. Reason number 4, airflow problem. Your engine needs a precise mix of air and fuel. If airflow becomes restricted or miscalculated, combustion becomes unstable. This can be caused by a dirty air filter, a faulty mass airflow sensor, or a blocked intake path. Here's how it usually shows up. The engine feels weak. Acceleration becomes inconsistent. Sometimes it surges. Sometimes it hesitates. Then at low speed or during sudden throttle changes, it stalls. Airflow problems often create unpredictable behavior. Not always the same symptom every time. That inconsistency is a key clue. Reason number 5, idle air control valve problem. This one shows up mostly when slowing down. The idle air control valve keeps the engine running when you're not pressing the accelerator. So when it fails, the engine cannot maintain idle. Here's the typical scenario. You're driving normally, then you slow down, approaching a traffic light, or stopping in traffic, and suddenly the RPM drops too low and the engine stalls. This is very common in city driving, and many drivers think it's a random issue, but the pattern is clear. Moving equals fine, stopping equals stall. That points directly to idle control. Reason number 6, electrical system interruption. Modern engines depend heavily on electrical signals. If there is a problem in the wiring or a connection becomes loose, the engine can shut off instantly. This type of stall feels unpredictable. No pattern, no clear warning. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. You may hit a bump, engine cuts off. You turn the wheel, engine reacts. These small triggers are important clues because they suggest an unstable electrical connection, not a mechanical failure. Reason number 7, vacuum leak. Your engine controls airflow carefully, but a vacuum leak allows extra air to enter without being measured. That throws off the air-fuel ratio, and when the mixture becomes unstable, the engine struggles. Here's how it usually feels: rough idle, fluctuating RPM, then sudden stall, especially at low speed. Vacuum leaks are tricky because they are often small, but their effect can be significant, especially at idle. Reason number 8, torque converter or transmission issue. This one is less obvious, but very real. In automatic cars, the torque converter connects the engine to the transmission. If it fails, it can behave like a manual car with a clutch that doesn't disengage. So when you slow down, the engine gets forced to stop. Here's the pattern. Driving equals fine. Slowing down equals stall, especially when coming to a stop. You may also feel a jerk just before the engine shuts off. This is often misdiagnosed as an engine issue, but the real problem is in the transmission system. Now here is something very important. How do you quickly identify the cause? Don't guess. Observe the pattern. Ask yourself, did the engine struggle first or shut off instantly? Did it happen while accelerating or while stopping? Did it restart easily or not at all? These details matter because they point you in the right direction. For example, struggle before stall leads to fuel or airflow. Instant shutdown leads to sensor or electrical. Stall while stopping leads to idle or torque converter. This simple thinking can save you time and money. Now let's talk about what to do immediately. If your car stalls while driving, stay calm. Move to a safe location, turn on hazard lights, try restarting the engine, then observe carefully, because what happens next gives you valuable information. Does it start immediately? Does it take time? Does it stall again quickly? Each answer tells a story. So let's quickly recap. Your car may stall while driving because of fuel delivery issues, a faulty crankshaft sensor, ignition failure, airflow problems, idle control failure, electrical interruption, vacuum leaks, or transmission-related issues. Some causes are simple, some are complex, but all of them matter because stalling is not just inconvenient, it can be dangerous, and ignoring it can lead to bigger problems. And now I want to hear from you. When your car stalled, what happened just before it? Did it hesitate, lose power, or shut off instantly? Comment below with your experience. And if enough people mention the same issue, I'll make the next video on that exact problem.